We going live in 2, 1. Man. All right, so we're back trying this again. I do see everybody this time, and I can hear everybody. I know y'all said y'all could hear, man. Technical difficulties. Blame it on the program. It wasn't me. Wasn't my computer. Definitely not my internet. Full bars. But we'll do this again. So this is Sincerely Speaking. I am your man, Sincere. In the middle of the screen, you got Blackout. And then also you have the Queen on the other side here.
Hi.
So basically what we're going to be talking about is we're going to be talking about double standards. So I'm about to share this video. If you're watching, share the video. If it's your first time watching the courses, you're going to see my camera freeze up every once in a while because it's a DSLR. It freezes every 20 minutes. Don't mind that. You'll still hear me. But if you're watching this, though, share it. If you ever want to get on here and have a conversation with us live, let me know. I'll holler at you. We can do it. We try to do it on Tuesdays. Last couple of weeks, we had the holiday, so we kind of sat things out. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump this off, though. So first things first, double standards. So clearly the favorite one. Hold on. I actually clicked on the wrong thing. My bad. Now this is a user error.
Technical difficulty.
Nah, that was my fault. I just actually deleted one. Anyways, actually, we'll just jump straight to this one. So cheating. And this was one that I thought was a double standard. And I'll explain why. So clearly everybody says cheating is wrong, of course. We all agree. But the standard in regards to this, in my opinion, and you hear it all the time, if a woman cheats, it's always brought up not like they're necessarily right for doing what they did or it's okay what they did, but it's always, well, they cheated emotionally because they were missing something. So they cheated emotionally. That's what you hear a lot of times when women cheat. When men cheat, they get drugged through the mud. They did it because they dirt dogs. They did it because they wanted to, and it was just physical. It's never a thing that it could have been emotional that they possibly missing something. So that's why I brought it up. So Queen, I see you shaking your head.
Shaking her head.
So what are your thoughts in regards to that? So you sound like you don't think that's a double standard?
I mean, I do think it is a double standard, but there are so many double standards. I'm sure we'll go through a few of those, but I do think that there is a validity with how men and women cheat. You know, a man will go and sleep with a woman because it's Wednesday. In most cases.
And that's why it's a double standard.
Saying women usually, and I'm not saying all the time, women usually, once they're gone physically, if the emotions are not there, they will soon follow. And she's trying to replace you. It's not cheating just for sport. Most of the time, and I'll say most of the time, men cheat for sport. You know, it's the variety. And I get it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I get it. And I think that's why the reactions are so different. You know, with women, we'll take you back, but I love him. He cheated. I love him. Men, if I tell you I went and opened the door for the mailman, you cheated, it's over. Because you guys know that women will detach themselves emotionally and it's over with. You can go and sleep with Becky and Jan and Christine and Shaquana and all of them and still come home and kiss your wife in the mouth. So there is a double standard. There is a double standard there. Get it. But there are differences there most of the time. That's all I have to say.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna cut it short.
Go ahead, Blackout, man. What's your take, especially about what she said? Because I got something to say.
Well, I guess for me, that I always say is there's a difference between a man and a boy and a woman and a girl. And so we have, as a society, has got so used to calling everybody a woman and a man. So every man is a dog. And I just don't look at every man as every male with hair on his balls as being a man. That's just not something I look at. When it comes to cheating, I think as for guys, we could use some of those excuses that females use, that we could detach ourselves and all that other stuff and all this, whatever. But I think not all guys cheat because it's a sport, like we playing basketball or something. So I totally disagree with that one.
Okay, Raphael De La Ghetto.
So, I mean, I know that every guy doesn't do that for a sport. I also say, too, when it comes down to that, because like Sincere said, cheating is wrong. And I think that we all can agree to that. What we must understand here is, just like the Queen used that, there was something missing. I think that guys can also say that. And I think one of the biggest reasons for that I know that some males to cheat is because the lack of sex. Because once you say that I do this when I don't start, and so then now it's like a puzzle where you didn't lost a piece of the puzzle, but Becky and Charlotte, they got that puzzle. So you're right. On Wednesday, you're gonna get your hump on. That's what you're gonna do. It's those hump day. It's the hump. Tomorrow is hump day, y'all. So my thing of it is that it is wrong, but I'll say this and I'll let Sincere go because I am a talker. There is the intentional cheater and there's the unintentional cheater. Now let me explain it. The unintentional cheating, even though it's wrong, the unintentional cheating is happens like this. Me and Queen is together. I don't tell Queen how beautiful she look. I don't tell her how sexy she look. I don't tell her how I like her hair. But Joey at work pays attention. Oh, that's a nice shirt you got. You got some nice glasses. I like your hair today. So then now she ain't getting it from me, but she done went to work. And now she's, again, unintentionally, now she can't wait to see what Joey has to say about the new outfit she got on. So now what does that lead to? I see you shaking your head. Don't shake your head in Jesus' name. I'm just being real with you now. I'm being real with you. Okay. So then what happens is now y'all laughing and like you said with the mailman holding the door for him. So now it started off with something simple, like now he making you laugh. Now you can't wait to see him. Now all of a sudden, hey, send me a text. Now you got the phone number. Next you know it's cheating. That's unintentional. You didn't mean for it to happen. It just happened. Wait, let me finish. The intentional cheater is what we was talking about, that just hump on Wednesdays for no reason for the sport. We playing basketball. I'm shooting 3-pointers, swish. He had every intentions to being with the Queen and cheating on her just to have something to do. So I think that there's two different things when it comes to cheating. Because not every guy just goes out and just does that. I know females are just as bad as dudes.
Exactly.
Sincere, go ahead. Come on.
Well, and honestly, that's and I'm gonna leave this alone. And then actually, before I even go, because hold on, I got Dion made a comment. Basically, it's like I don't know if he was repeating what you said. Trying to show it. I don't know what's going on today. But he has stated when I say I do, that's when I don't start. Basically the same thing you said. But yeah, I mean, the thing about this, and Queen, you said it, and you proved my point on what I was saying. A lot of women, and it's more so women, that say that men cheat because of sport. And granted, you didn't say all, but you said most, which that may not be true. But there are a lot of women, lot of women that actually cheat for the exact same reasons that men do. And it's not emotional. It's they doing it And some of them do it for sport too. I'm just saying.
Listen,
I'm a man. I know some people.
Swish.
Linda,
3-pointer.
listen, Linda. And in my experience, and again, as a woman who talks to other women, in most cases, in my experience, in my time, most of the time when you see that a woman is entertaining a man, most of the time, again, I have to stress that it's not just sexual. I'll say all the women that I know that have cheated on their partner has eventually left that partner to go and be with that man. I'm not saying all the time, but once, and we talked about this before, the
Of
string
course.
from here down here, that string, it's connected. It's an emotional connection. Once you sleep with a man, and that's why I admit it's different for men, because a man can sleep with a woman and not know her name, age, birthday, address, none of that.
You don't need to
Women
know
do
none of
too.
that.
Not saying that women can't, but for the most part, that there's an emotional connection there. And she most likely trying to replace you. If it's at that point where, you know, Joey is complimenting her and telling her how pretty she is, and there's a void there and he's feeling it, she may migrate more so toward Joey and say, you know what? I find my happiness in this person. That's why it always gets to that. So what we doing? I've been sleeping with you. I've been doing this. Most men ain't about to sit. You ain't going to even have that conversation. You're going to keep smashing on hump days and call it a when
Because they didn't already had that conversation. They knew what it was.
whatever.
All right, we gonna leave this alone. Deshaun did make a comment. Let me see if I can get this to work. I don't know what's going on with this program today. It's on a whole nother level. But Deshaun said men generally cheat for ego, women mostly cheat for emotional issues. And I think that could be true, but I think, of course, that's what we hear. But then a lot of men, I don't think a lot of men, and of course that's something else we're gonna talk about. That it looked like I just lost Rich. Hold on, I see him down here. Hold on, let me put him back in here real quick. But a lot of men, when it comes to the emotional part of it, they don't really discuss that actual aspect of it. They might talk to each other. Some of them might, but some of them won't, because, again, something else they'll talk about emotional men and how they look. Just being 100. I mean, some men don't like to talk about their emotions, even to their own friends. Just saying. So then, of course, unfortunately, many of them are blackballed only. I'm just saying they do, but women do the same thing as men. I'm just saying, hey, again, that's why we're here to debate it.
No.
It's a debate. It's a debate. But we're gonna leave it alone. Hold on. Santina just asked what we was talking about. We're talking about double standards with cheating right now with men and women. And then I also got Dixon Chick's Life says most women cheat for companionship.
Well, hey, if I can jump in here, Miss Dixon, explain what you mean by that, though.
You know what she mean.
No, I don't. You gotta treat me like I'm retarded. I don't know what that means, because if you got companion at home, well, how are you cheating for companionship?
That apparently, I'm not gonna say apparently, there may not be any companion at home, because you may have a relationship where the man is like, well, you know, I take care of all the bills, I'm working, you might be a housewife, whatever the case may be, and he's so focused on the things that he's doing for you that the lack of companionship is there. He may not spend time with you, he may not compliment you. We just said it. Once you say I do, I don't start. I don't compliment you. I don't open the door. I don't rub your feet. I don't do whatever. So it's not just from the woman's side. It goes both ways.
Hold on. I want to jump in here, Sincere, before we move on, because this is gonna be a back and forth that I see. See, listen. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something in Jesus' name. The problem that I feel like we have in society is we watch a lot of TV. I don't watch a lot of TV anymore. We watch a lot of TV and we get a lot of our relationship stuff from TV and from movies. Let me tell you something. The problem that happens is somewhere down the line, somebody started this whole chivalry stuff and opening up doors and holding an umbrella for and all of these things. So in females' mind, it got stuck in their head that you have to do this. Let me tell you something. That's going to happen in any relationship. Because let me tell you something. Queen, if I was to meet you, I'm going to open the door up. I'm going to rub your feet. I'm going to do it. Once I say I do, chirp, chirp, you better get the hell in because it's raining. I'm just telling you. You're going to be ready. You're going to be
but you
going to need a new purge.
That's the lack of. That's when the void is created.
Right, but what I'm saying is this. This is my point. I'm not saying this because it's wrong, because we shouldn't start something that we're not going to continue. What I'm saying is this. As society, we have made this a thing that we focus on. Because my thing of it is this, flip it around. I want a female to open a door for me. I want a female to tell me she want to take me out to eat. I want a female that's going to tell me that she's going to buy for my food. As society, we have made things become a standard. Not to switch subjects.
Didn't have any standards.
No, what I'm saying is this. We watch a lot of TV. So when we base our relationships off of, how does a movie? I know we want to move on because we got a lot of topics, but look at a love story. A love story is going to come in. It's going to show, okay, Sincere met the queen. He going to give her all these compliments. He. They go on a couple of dates. Now they in love. Now what's the plot? Something going to do something that's going to make y'all mad at each other, right? That's going to keep you drawn in and want to watch the movie. By the end of the freaking movie, y'all going to make up. You're going to have kids, and the movie going to fade to black. Now let me bring you to real life, right? In real life, it don't happen that way. So when it fades to black, that means you're dead. So what I'm saying is the problems that we have, and I'll even bring up this excuse, and I don't know if this is one of the topics, but not to stray from cheating. We're talking about the new age female don't know how to cook. They don't know how to make a 4-course meal. But growing up, I can honestly say that I watched my mom cook a meal every night for my father. But the new age females say it got to be 50-50. Well, where the hell are we getting this from?
I don't.
I'm telling you, we have lost our way because we done got so far into TV that we done lost relationships. Tell me how long marriages typically last now.
Maybe an average of 5 years.
And that's what I'm saying is that we have lost our way watching, and society has made up. Let me tell you something. If a guy is 100% happy, he's going to open the door up for you. He's going to do all of those things and more that you want for him to do, and it would never be an issue. But my thing of it is that guys treat just like females do. And like Sincere said, so we can move on, there's a lot, again, a society thing. Coming up, you were not as a guy to talk about or cry to make you seem like you was weak. You were supposed to flex your muscles.
You can't talk about that yet. We're going to talk about that later.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll come back to that.
We're gonna hold off on the emotional part. And I'm going to try to hit these comments real quick. Deshaun had mentioned, I ain't never heard of a guy saying she hurt my feelings, so I slept with someone else. Exactly my point. You proved, but that proved my, wait. That proved my point in regards to emotions. And we're going to talk about that later too. So hold on to that, Deshaun. Okay. But it's proving my point because, again, most men may not have that conversation with other men. Tight people will. Like me and my brother, we talk. But many men will not have those conversations because they might be looked at as being weak, and it's an emotional thing. So that's why many men don't share that portion. I'm just saying. So, and then let me keep going. Santina stated that women cheat because something that is lacking in the relationship or something she is missing love-wise may not always be because of the man. I'm confused on that one. a tad bit. Let me see. Dixon Chick stated, like she said, once the emotional connection is gone, women are typically done. Men are the same way. Honestly,
Right.
let's be
Why
real about it.
why it's okay? See, my thing is double standards are normal. I'm a man. I'm a woman. You're a man. It's two different. We're two different things. If that way, God would just make all men or all women. It's okay to have certain double standards. I'm not trying to meet yours. Like when we discuss double standards, people are often like, "No, that's not right. That's not what I do," and we're trying to meet in the middle. We don't have to meet in the middle. I don't agree that men and women are the same. I do think men do things differently, and I do think, like I said, men sleep around because it's Wednesday. I don't
It's hump day.
it's hump day. So and that's okay, I guess, but
Yes.
we have to we in our experiences, I know that I'm a lot more emotional as a woman because I'm wired that way than you are as a man. I may share my feelings with you and you sitting there like, why are we keep talking about feelings? Who cares about your feelings? And that's okay. My reasoning for straying outside of a relationship or whatever the case may be different than yours. Because even on TV, in scripts, most of the time you hear it's like when a man get caught up, it's like he wasn't even like that. I didn't even like her. And when you sit down and you look at a conversation between a man and a woman, and the woman has been caught cheating, what do you hear? You hear, I'm sorry. He just, he told me I was pretty and my legs just magically opened up or whatever the case may be.
Magic?
I was hear that. It has to be men cheat. It's the variety is the spice of life. And I've heard that from a number of men, and not more so women. Women trying to protect their hotation. And
they
they
hotation.
So new.
Men don't care. But that's where that double standard is, where men can sleep with 100 women and be the man on the block. And women, however, cannot. So we do have to protect ourselves. We have sex. That emotional part comes there. And in a lot of cases, just because I wanted something different. I wanted to feel some different cooch that wasn't yours. So I stepped out. I got busted. Sorry. I don't even need to talk to this heifer no more. Women, like I said, in most cases, we trying to replace y'all ass. Because we already gone. We out the door. Once we leave in the house and we even got dressed and showered and did our hair and all this, we're not trying to go out just to sleep around. Because we don't need them type of numbers. Out. Because this person has piqued our interest. And now we're sitting here having this conversation with you like, okay, I done cheated on my husband. So what we finna do? And then you like, I was just smashing because it's Wednesday, because it's hump day. I'm not trying to develop no relationship with you. So it's okay to be different. I don't think there's many out there like I'm too short.
See,
Okay.
you driving me to more comments, but I'm gonna be quiet.
Let's go on to the next.
Yeah, we gonna we beat it dead. There's a whole bunch of comments that I ain't even gonna try to get to right now because we need to move on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. All right. So next up, since we're talking about sex, of course, the big thing with sexual partners. It's always been a big thing. Like you said, what'd you say, Ho Nation?
Your hotation.
Hotation. There you go. So that was something I was going to talk about before. My cousin had brought it up as one of the topics. She feels that, men can go out and sleep with everybody and date everybody, and it's not a problem, but women go out and do it, and it's an issue. And it's funny because my guy posted right afterwards. I think he said something about I forgot what the phrase was, mentioning how nobody wants a lock with that has a bunch of keys that go to it or something he said, which I mean, but it's true. Men don't get in as much trouble as women do. And I mean, clearly, but I mean, and there's a lot of women that still deal with dudes that sleep with a lot of that have slept with a lot of women. And let's be real, I think a lot of women still lie about their numbers because they don't want to look like they out there too.
Yeah,
Don't frown your face up. Because hey,
yeah,
look, cause think about it, a
That's
lot of women would never say if that's true or not. Even if I did an anonymous survey, I guarantee a lot of women probably wouldn't even say on there whether or not they've lied about their
we
numbers.
talked about this last time though doing the when we were doing the blackout radio. You don't remember this conversation? We
That was
talked
a long time. That was like years ago.
yeah. It has been.
Santini, don't be giving me a side eye. No side eyes, okay?
but we talked about
Yeah,
I already told y'all that.
yeah. You got to lie about them whole numbers.
That's a number that will go to your grave. Period.
Because hey, look, coochie got a mileage on it. All you gotta do is just look. A coochie speedometer. Gotta turn back the timing thing.
Need a tune-up.
And a new battery.
Wow. So clearly, I mean, clearly, we don't. Do y'all have anything really to say about it?
Well, the only thing that I can say about that is, like you said, for a guy, we gotta look at it this way. Let me preach for a second, and then I'm gonna be done so we can move forward. Females have to understand is this: you may not give up them whole numbers, right? But that coochie gonna get loose. And when you lay on your back and I start seeing feet and hands and people talking, there's gonna be a look. If you can go. If you can go and go get one of the pap smear and they don't need no tools to open you up, there's a problem.
Shut up, Blackout. I'm not doing
Look, and when you see them people on the back of the milk carton that's missing, just look at some of them coochies.
Hold on. I got some quick comments in regards to this. Let me see who's. All right, let me see if I can get these to show today. I don't know what's going on. If not, hold on.
Kegels, yes.
Yeah, I've heard about Kegels. So Champagne stated, scientifically speaking, a woman has an environment that can be messed up and thrown off from multiple penetrators. The pole stays the same no matter what. You keep putting a pole in a hole in the ground, the hole starts to get bigger, and it don't fit no more. The pole is still the same.
Oh. Pole in the hole. I agree.
It don't fit.
Hey,
if it don't fit, you must have quit.
That is true. Multiple penetrators.
All right. So then let me see. Of course, your sister gonna jump in here talking about men lie too. We lie about what? Numbers? Yeah, some do.
I don't know nobody.
Damn, put that back up there.
That's like a proud badge of honor for me.
What you talking about?
Hey. Hi, sister.
You stupid. Then of course my cousin said if it's still tight, it don't matter.
It ain't gonna be tight, cousin. I'm just telling you.
It's y'all don't know.
Hey, I know.
Hey.
Y'all can't.
That's what they got. Vaginoplasty is a surgery to tighten it back up.
Just do some keys.
I can't deal with you right now, man. All right, we gonna leave this alone. We're gonna move forward. To get more on a serious note, of course, this is something I've heard about in college. Of course, especially with all the allegations and everything going on too, with the rape culture that's big right now. So the reason this was brought up, and I know in college there was an ordeal that was brought up, and I know being a mentor, we talked to our youth about this as well. If a man, basically, if you have sex with a person, and it's more so geared towards the males, not really on the women, but if a man has sex with a female that's intoxicated, it's technically considered rape. Now, of course, it would be debatable, and I remember something a few years back with a Colts player, and those that live in Indy probably remember it too, where he slept with a female downtown, and they both were supposedly intoxicated. She woke up claiming she don't remember nothing, and he kind of, I don't remember if he kicked her out the next day or something or whatever. And she claimed rape. I can't remember the guy's name. I wouldn't put him out there anyway, but it was something big on the news. But I do know, of course, when it comes to that statistic specifically, saying that if a person's intoxicated and you have relations with them, clearly a man will never admit that he's been raped, because that'll go back to the whole emotional or he's weak.
Yes, it does.
So, oh, you know a man that claimed he got raped?
No, I'm saying it will go back to that. It
Oh.
will.
Yeah. So what's your thought?
Who has been
So what's your? Go ahead.
molested?
Oh, okay.
But I asked that, and you don't really have. I mean, when you know, I was 12 and she was 21, but I wasn't complaining. You know, it was a wild experience for me. Men, I'm not the I haven't heard of it.
Did you just say somebody was 12 and somebody was 21?
Yeah,
or did I just hear?
But it was, we were talking about the whole sexual predator, things like that, and the differences between men and women. And I had asked them then, when did they lose their virginity, at what age, and what, in most cases, in, like I said, in my experience with guys I've talked to, they were very older.
Hey, Rich, that game loud in the mug, man.
And it was like 12 and she was 21, but I ain't gonna say nothing. It's like you hear stories like that, and in a lot of cases,
It's still going on. Look at all these teachers. I mean, there's a lot of female teachers sleeping with these students. Now, of course, it's coming to light now.
Is it?
Yeah, they're sleeping with the boys, and the boys aren't saying anything. The parents finding out, and they turn them in. There's a lot of stuff going on down south.
Hey, and that's a whole nother conversation. Y'all don't want to have that one with me.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm telling you right now, if a sex, I keep hitting pause on this thing, or there we go, mute. I'm sorry. I don't know. I had this conversation down here when I asked a couple of people, and of course everybody said that they would tell. I'm just saying that if a hot teacher was having sex with my boy and he didn't say nothing, I ain't saying nothing. Now I might tell her, you know, we might have to run a train, otherwise you're gonna get fired. But I'm not saying nothing.
Oh my God.
She ain't gonna get arrested. None of that.
I really can't.
Let me address it, the other party we was talking about with this whole sexual allegation crap. I can understand if a female was intoxicated and she was raped. I'm not being insensitive for any females listening or to the queen. But my thing of it is, I think this is totally getting out of hand, because it just seems as if you could have sex with a female today and she can yell rape tomorrow if she decide to get mad. Mm-hmm. And it just seemed like now, once they got one, everybody's stepping down. The guys are saying, I don't remember the how it went down like that. I'm not getting fired because of somebody an allegation is an allegation. You didn't prove nothing. And then a lot of times, a lot of this stuff happens years ago. Now, let me tell you something. Again, I want to apologize to all of the ladies that's listening, because I don't want y'all to hate me and the queen. I want you to still like me. Listen. If you had sex with your boss so you can get ahead in the game, right? Sure. And you get a promotion and you don't say nothing, and especially when you married. Because I told Mrs. Blackout, right? If you had to go and give some head at work and you got the promotion, right? You can't come home to me 10 years later and say that now you had to have sex with your boss. No, you gave head and we benefited. I just don't. I think that again we're taking this stuff a little too far, because if you, like the Matt Lowry situation, how do you go into his office Unless you go in and have sex with the guy, your clothes ripped off of you, and you walk out of that office butt naked or half naked for everybody to be able to see it, you went in there and had sex with Matt Lowry. You see what I'm saying? So you ought to slap yourself. That's what I used to say on Blackout Radio. You got to slap yourself. One, pussy got limitations. You got 2 years and that's it.
You put a statute on it, man.
Statutes of limitations on pussy is 2 years. But I'm saying, like, let's go back to even with Bill Cosby. When the girl said she was like 12 or 15 at the Playboy Mansion, first of all, your parents need to be slapped, because what are you doing at the Playboy Mansion? You see what I'm saying? And then if you know what's going on and you benefited from this stuff, oh shoot, I'm pretty sure she got all kind of perks. I'm not saying Matt Lowry wasn't no daggone pervert. He probably was. He was married. You see what I'm saying? But you know what you're doing when you go into that office and the door locked and you undo your blouse. You got to pull your pants down, because unless you went in there naked and people see you in there naked, I just feel like this is going too far with this whole sexual allegation stuff. And let me tell you something. It goes back to where a guy will never say, I've been raped. A guy will never say they've been sexually assaulted. I'm here to tell you, I was, by my boss. And I had just told my wife, and I said I wasn't going to say nothing because, again, I'm a guy. I wasn't thinking nothing of it. You know what I'm saying? How do you slap me on my butt in front of everybody? We don't got no relationship like that. But I never said anything. Now, I could have got her fired. You see what I'm saying? I probably could still get her fired if we're going to do. But what I'm saying is guys are more prone not to say anything.
This ain't your current boss, is it? You on live, man.
I just said boss.
You told everybody.
Shit, I mean, dang it. I didn't, you know.
Look, now you're going to have people looking like, so which boss is he talking about? Man.
Y'all would never know. I'm just saying, for real, it happened. You know, I just think that it's getting a little too far. If you benefited from having sex or giving head and you got a promotion, you can't say nothing. You just gave some head and had sex. That's what happened. That's how I look at it. I'm not trying to be mean or funny. It's just, you know, I think that it's just getting out of hand. Allegations is an allegation unless you can prove something, because you didn't go and take no rape kit, so apparently it didn't bother you that much. And on top of that, if you were married and never went home and told your spouse, something got to be wrong.
That was you. I agree. Sincere, because I have something to say. I'll let
no,
you.
go ahead. I'm good. Go ahead. Knock yourself out.
That is hilarious. But no, I 100% agree. This whole, and not to say anything about the hashtag Me Too, because I do think the hashtag Me Too is something valid for people who have been sexually harassed or sexually assaulted. Like I said, this whole thing is just getting out of hand, where people are coming back. And it's so, I guess, scary, I would assume, for men. Because everything now is a sexual harassment. Everything now is a sexual assault. If you say hello, good morning, and it's too friendly, it's like, I'm going to go and talk to my boss because this person has sexually assaulted me. And I think there needs to be a very clear and very transparent definition of what sexual assault is and what sexual harassment is, because now with all these allegations coming out about all of these people, you got women like, yeah, I was sexually assaulted. But me and my husband talk about this all the time, and it's like with women it's so easy for us to do that, because now it's, if we like him and he's cute, it's okay. But if it's coming from somebody that's not attractive to me or that I don't like, it's sexual assault. Because either way it goes, if you're in the workplace and it's something that's happening that's inappropriate in the workplace, I don't care if that's your boo outside of that, or if y'all mess around, y'all married, or any of that. It's inappropriate in the workplace. And I have to say we, because I'm a woman, and women are just really, really, like, he assaulted me. This was something that I didn't want. Now, I'm not saying that there's no valid stories out there, because it could be somebody forcing themselves upon you. But if you sit there and you entertain it, and then it gets to the point where now you mad at him, or he didn't take you to lunch, or he just shares lunch with you, and now you want to call sexual assault or sexual harassment. That's an issue. So, men, please be very careful. Don't compliment the woman at work. No fraternizing, no any of that, because it's very dangerous for y'all. And the smallest thing that you do can get you called into your boss's office, and it may be something so very innocent that you did to a woman. No complimenting, no eye winking, no booty smacks, no none of that. Because it, like I got slapped in a boot. That is funny. But y'all have to be very careful, because now with all these allegations coming out, and again, we were listening to Gabrielle Union on the radio the other day, and that's what she was saying. If you're a non-celebrity, your story is really diminished. You know, nobody really wants to hear your story. We only feel sympathy and empathy for people who are in the spotlight. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened to her. Oh my God, this person got fired for doing this. When you got people around you that actually have valid stories of people misusing their relationship, whether it be children or other adults. But women, I have to say, stop doing it. Like I said, you know, fucked your way to the top. You can't come back 12 years later talking about he sexually harassed or sexually assaulted me. Most of these cases are in hotel rooms, and how you get there, how your clothes get there. Like, you have business there in the first place, and we keep going off this should fact.
Hey, my pudding pop.
Nobody should. We're not living in a good world. The shit that we think should or should not happen is not necessarily happening. So if you're putting yourself in a position of or of guys that, you know, you hear that just because she went home with him at 3-4 o'clock in the morning from the club drunk does not mean that she deserved to be raped. No, she doesn't. But she has increased her risk of something possibly happening to her or any of that. We have to be accountable as women for ourselves and for the choices that we make. The shit that happens to us a lot of the time can be avoided. I could go on, but I'm gonna shut the hell up because this shit here pisses me off. So
There you go. All right, so we got a whole bunch of comments on here. I ain't gonna post them all, but I'm gonna try to respond real quick. Champagne had a couple comments. He stated that they stepping down because they guilty, bro. And then he also mentioned if they wasn't guilty, I'm sure they fight to keep their position. Smithy is fishy. Let me scroll back up. Let me see. Santina stated it is because people use the internet as getting to know the other person tool. Likes and live posts are what people go off of.
Mm-hmm.
And then she put on here, slap on your ass, and a whole bunch of smiley faces with tears. and then of course, Nakosha, of course you're gonna agree with your sister. I'm just messing with you. I'm gonna say this real quick and I'm gonna leave it alone. But yeah, it's basically agreeing with both. I can't talk with what both of y'all said. And I was kind of put in a situation when I used to be a manager, and I kind of had to end up telling the other female managers. The female wasn't even my employee technically, directly underneath me, but they wanted me to let her know that her clothing wasn't appropriate for work. Now there's women managers. Why are you asking the male manager to approach her and let her know that her clothes aren't appropriate? I told him I wasn't going to do that because at the end of the day, wasn't nobody else trying to go in this room with me and have me explain this. And then I can see that her clothes are inappropriate, but I don't need to be the one telling her that. So then she can try to make some kind of assumption. I think she ended up getting fired too, right? Not too long afterwards, because they always were inappropriate. But as a female, you need to be stepping up and saying something to her, or at least offer to say, okay, you want me to go in and say something to her? Come in there with me so I don't get any kind of crazy allegations against myself. Now I'm sitting here trying to figure out, well, did he do something or say something, whatever the case may be. And then, then of course, with all the allegations, yeah, you never know what's going on. But there was just a story. I was watching, what's the show? What's old boy with the Gap? He was on that show in the morning. the Today Show. Is that the Today Show?
You're talking
Wait,
about Michael Strahan. He
yeah.
Good
What was
Morning
the show he
America.
used to be on?
Uh,
Yeah,
with
it was Good Morning.
Kelly,
Yeah,
and
because she
Mike,
has her
whatever
own
her
show
name.
now. I want to say either it might have been yesterday or the day before. She had a gentleman on there that was accused of raping a female. He was a high school athlete and promised to be to go to pros. He went to prison. I want to say for 5 years because his lawyer told him to accept the plea deal because if he didn't and went to court and this girl lied and said he raped her, that he would possibly get 40 years. So he made a decision at the age of 17 to plead guilty, serve his 5 years, and then he got put on probation afterwards for this female to come back. I think they said 20 plus years later and admit that she lied.
Mm.
And but the crazy thing is, a lot of this stuff happens, which is another reason why us as men and us as women and parents need to talk to our kids that are athletes, especially when it comes to some of these women out here, because like y'all said, they get to, they like you, something go wrong, and now y'all was smashing before, and now things ain't going the way it was going. Now I was raped, and now you going to jail or in something worse. But I'm gonna leave that alone because we well past time on that. And let me see what time it is. I'm gonna say we're gonna do one more. Since we kind of talked about this earlier, and we can do another show next week to get the rest of these. There was a mention of Richie had brought up about the concept of if your son has sex with his teacher. So the whole ordeal, and this was brought up, and I thought this was good because me being a man, I was kind of honestly probably agree with my brother on some things my son get away with that I would not dare let my daughter get away with. So the standards in regards to that, the double standard in regards to that. I know Blackhawks, you got older kids, so I mean, I know you have all boys, but if you had a daughter, I mean, what's your take in regards to that?
I think that it's the same thing that you just said. I mean, I think as men, you want to protect your daughters. You want to protect them from, and I can't even use the thing up because somebody, when I speak, people always say, well, you're saying that because you don't have a daughter. And when I speak and try to talk seriously, I try to speak realistically. And I think that people don't like that. And they always come up with, well, you don't have a daughter, you don't have this or don't have that. Like Queen said, a lot of times females put themselves in positions that they don't need to be in and then go and complain about it later on. But at the same time, what I try to do in life is if you ask me a question, I am definitely going to, if I can't really answer it because it didn't happen, I'm not going to really say, well, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z just so you can get an answer out of it. So I'm just saying that as of right now, if a teacher was to had sex with one of my high school kids, and I don't know that I would really say anything. You know what I'm saying? Because again, hey, I'm gonna give him a couple of high fives. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, You're gonna get a couple of high fives. You get, hey, son. I'm just saying as of right now, I don't, what I'm saying? If it was to really happen, then I probably would give a real answer. But as of right now, I'm not saying a thing. But if you flip it around, you know what I'm saying? Of course, you're going to be mad because a male's decked his wife and daughters and kids. You know what I'm saying? So you would want some pervert, But if you got to think of it this way, and I'll be done because I know Queen is just like itching to answer to what I got to say. And it happened a couple times down here in Fort Wayne where, and I used to drive school bus as well for Fort Wayne Community Schools. And I will say, and I won't say the person's name. And I will always tell people when you're working around kids like that, you have to be able to be a strong-willed person because I'm just telling you, those young girls are going to be very, very sexy. Their bodies is going to be right. And if you are weak, you can very well give in. I had a girl, I was driving a bus. I think she was a freshman. I think when she first started riding, I don't think she was a sophomore. Either way it go. I mean, the girl was beautiful. I mean, beautiful. But she would tell her friends that I was flirting with her. Well, I had already knew. I'm not getting fired because you want to lie. I mean, beautiful. Right now, she's a model. And so if I was weak, I could have gave into that. By the age 16, she had a baby, by some dude that was like 21. Now, I was like 23, I think, at the time when I started working at Fort Wayne Community Schools. So I always tell guys, you have to be careful because those girls are going to want an older guy because females mature faster than guys. And I know one girl now that lives down in Indy. Hopefully she watching and don't catch this. But we was in the ninth grade and she had got pregnant, and had, I don't know how many kids she had by this older guy. But again, it's this thing of, females want to mess with older guys. And that's what you run into. But you have to be strong. Well, especially if you're over the kids like that, because I'm telling you, she was very beautiful. Now, when I got the opportunity to be able to say, hey, you out of school now, you 18, you free game, she wouldn't give me the time of day because I dissed her then. She wasn't understanding that you were 15. You know, I could have went to prison. You see what I'm saying? But I had to be, that was something I was strong about. So, but I'm saying to go back to what I was saying, if somebody was going to mess with one of my boys' teachers, I'm telling you, they are free.
Did he freeze?
It looked like he did. Yeah, you look froze. Oh, you just moved. you moving now. Go ahead, Queen. Go ahead and give your comments, and then we're gonna get up off here.
Well, I have a son and a daughter, and things are taught differently. It is difficult, and many people don't understand because I tell some people so. I found myself explaining as to why I handle my children different, and it is a double standard there. I mean, men and women, boys and girls are like puzzle pieces, and that's why I say the double standards are normal. It's necessary because it's a puzzle piece. You have to kind of teach boys a certain way because they're going to be handled differently in the society that we live in this country, and girls are going to be treated a certain way as well. Just like I said, for my son and his dad, it's gonna be, high five, smash as many chicks as you possibly can. You got to get out here, tear on your chest, and you want to avoid that with your daughter. You're not gonna tell her, go on out here and do some dicks, girl, because you're gonna. And that's the thing. You're not gonna tell her that. You have, girls are sugar and spice and everything nice, so you want to protect them from the monster.
Got to keep their whole facts down.
Yeah, they gotta keep it down. So it is a double standard there with raising boys and raising girls. I don't necessarily support. I'm not gonna tell my son go out there and smash as many chicks as you possibly can. But his dad may. But with my little girl, we have to protect her from the monsters with penises. And they're dirty. They're all dirty. Boys are all dirty. They're nasty. Don't touch them. Because
don't let your husband see this now.
No, I'm just saying that's the truth. And we don't. We have to make sure that we are protecting our children because it's our responsibility to. I don't want my daughter to be like I was. I was pregnant at 17 years old. I had my son at 18 years old. And I want to keep her far away from that as possible. But it involves so much. I would hate for my son to be feeling like, dang, you all up on her and trying to protect her. And you just got me out there. The monster with the penis. But I also want to teach my son how he should be respectful, and the whole rape thing. That's a thing that I have to teach myself. I don't necessarily have to, go through with my daughter in that aspect, because I would hate for somebody to get upset with my son and accuse him of, being aggressive. I always talk to him about that. No means no. And you cannot assert yourself on a woman and just expect for her to just take it. That's the less aggressiveness. And with a young lady, I have to go through, don't let a man do that to you. So that's why I say it's two different sides of the coin with regards to raising boys, raising girls, the emotional part, or, just it's so many different things. And I'm okay with this double standard, because boys and girls are different. Men and women, they will grow up to be men and women and experience different things. So I'm not going to talk to my daughter about the same things that I'm going to talk to my son about. And now it's really scary in the culture that we're growing up in, because people are taking away the whole male female thing. No, it's okay for little boys to wear dresses, or no, all of that, because they are. I've worked with people that say, no, my daughter says there's no such thing as gender. No, it is. And you need to address that, respect that, and be okay with that. All that asexual, rano, bano, binosexual, whatever the hell it is.
What's a bino?
It's something I heard before somewhere, and I had to go look it up, but I can't remember, because my boss said her daughter, my old boss, said her daughters were like that. Like, they use men deodorant, and they're like, Mom, there's no sexual. No, you need to have a talk with your daughter and let her know that look at Blackout. You need to let her know that there are things that are okay and suitable for little girls, and there are things that are okay and suitable for boys. Again, we're always trying to mesh that line. You're a man, I'm a female. I'm not going to sit up here and challenge you or your manhood. I'm completely aware of who I am as a woman, and I'm not trying to match you or show you how strong I am, or because you can do something that I can, and I can do something that you can't physically. So to try to mesh the two, like people say, you're so hard on your son, and I am raising a young man, and I'm not going to sit up here and spoon feed him or coddle him, or because the word is not going to be like that with him. Most of the time, even in our society with regards to welfare and all that, it's more accommodating for women. Child support, it's more accommodating for women. If a man come and knock on your door and they like, well, I'm homeless, and most people will give change, money, food to a woman laid out on the street saying she's homeless, even if she's not, versus a man. Because they look at men like, well, you got dick and balls, and on either side of them, you got two pockets. So you gotta get it together. So it's a lot harder, I think. Well, I won't say that. It is harder for men than it is for women. We can put on the face and wink an eye and do all of that and get our way, and men can't often do that. And that's how I choose to raise my son and my daughter.
See, that's next show. We're gonna hold on to that.
Okay.
I do got a question for you, especially you, Queen, since you have both a son and a daughter. And I'll ask you too, Blackout. I will have a daughter soon, next month actually. So I'm looking forward to it, but then I'm also nervous as well, because I know people always ask that question: would you would you let your daughter date somebody like you? I don't know about the old me. But I do have a question in regards to, because I guess this could kind of fall into a double standard as well. So when it comes to like the sex piece, so clearly many times young women are put on birth control, of course, to prevent them from getting pregnant. Now, I don't need you to necessarily answer if you did that to your daughter, but hypothetically, if you did,
I started sweating. I'm sorry.
uh-oh. So my question really is, so clearly a lot of people put their daughter on birth control, but then there's a lot of people that don't want to give their son or provide him with condoms, which is technically his birth control. There's some people that won't. Now, I'm asking both of y'all, and Queen, I'll let you start. Hypothetically, air quotations, not saying that this is really what you do.
Okay.
Did you do one or the other or both? Or would you do, I guess we'll say, since it's a hypothetical question.
I would do both. If I were under the impression, because I have a 16-year-old and my daughter will be 14 next month. Jesus. If I were under the impression, or if one of my kids or both my kids came to me to talk about sex and things like that, because my son is 16 and he had already come out and said to me, I think it's time I try something new.
Uh-oh. Well then.
Right. So I would definitely, and he assures me that at this point he's not sexually active. But if he does, honestly, I would be so heartbroken. But if he were to come to me and tell me that he's prepared to do that, I would, and I do, have that talk with him and provide him with prophylactics. So I would definitely do that for him, and even with my daughter, because I'm almost there at this point, because I'm side-eyeing her ass at 14, because she's that 14-year-old with the Coca-Cola bottle, and she got shit happening to her body. And when we have that conversation, even now, I let her know. I tell her a lot of stuff, but I'm completely open to, yes, providing my son with condoms and putting my daughter on birth control. Hell, maybe before she's even ready to have sex. Because you never really know when, unless they do come to you and they're open with you to say, I'm interested in that. Because it ain't nothing you can do. That's what I've learned. Especially, oh God, now with all this stuff, love of hip hop is just killing our community. But if she's I'm completely open to that. To answer the question, yes, I'm completely open to providing condoms to my son and prematurely putting my daughter on birth control.
Hey, what about you, Rich? And I'm gonna let you close it out.
Now, Queen, I can hear you. I see him on the stream. I can't. His picture is still frozen, so if he says something to me, I can't hear him.
He said, "What about you?" Well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hear him say it now on the stream because he's still frozen. I have to take this earpiece off because now I hear myself talking on the stream. So I missed some of it. I heard something about some birth control and giving up and giving your kids condoms and stuff like that. Now, I don't got no daughter to be giving out no birth control. I think that if I guess that I'm hearing a conversation right, and Queen, if you could stop, because again, I can't hear him without putting the earpiece back in on the stream. I think if we provide our kids with birth control or condoms, it's like at the same time saying, here's some crack. I'm going to give it to you. Don't smoke it. don't snort it. None of that stuff. But I'm going to give it to you so you to have, but don't use it. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, and I had my one son. I asked my oldest son, hey, you having sex? No. So he wouldn't tell us, So I'm guessing he felt like, he was going to get in trouble or something. But the other son, I'm cutting his hair, and he was like, yeah, I didn't have sex before. Oh. And I was almost nipped his hair. Like, what you mean you didn't have sex? But he came out and was honest. Did I provide him with condoms? No, because I don't want to encourage you to go out and continue. My conversation with him was, listen, you go out there and you get a girl pregnant, and I don't know if it's true for Indiana or not, or where you at, Queen, but if a young boy get a girl pregnant and he's still in school, the parents is responsible. Whoever has custody is responsible for paying the child support for that child. I ain't interested in paying child support for nobody else and the kid, and especially to a girl I ain't even had sex with on hump day. So my thing is that, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go and encourage you. What I'm gonna remind you is brother, child support hurt, and you can be in child support prison for 19 years. So you definitely don't want to be out messing with that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I mean, it on one hand, I guess again, like I said before, I can't truly answer that because I don't have a girl. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you right now, I haven't provided any condoms for any of my kids. Or my boys. I'm not going to encourage you to go out and have no sex.
But what happens? I mean, if you're not giving them that or saying here, because I mean, they're gonna do it. So
right.
That's how I look at it. I'm not one of those parents that say I'm gonna drink with my kid or I'm gonna smoke weed with my kid because I want to do it with them before they go out and do it. That's foolery as hell. That
right.
stuff pisses me off. I'm a let her get drunk when she turn 18 or 19 so I can see how she handle her liquor. That's stupid as hell. That's not being
right.
That's being reckless as hell, and you need to know that.
Right.
But I think once they've made because you already know, with a little boy, once he stick his teeter-totter in somebody, he gonna be humping like a rat. So
right.
Like, I got it now. It's good. It's all good. He's not gonna stop. You can't stop him. So I think for me, with my child, you've done it. I'm gonna get you a suitcase full of condoms so that we make sure.
Damn, burger.
Because you've already done it, or you're interested in doing it. So let's just make sure that safety is your top priority and not busting a nut. Because if busting a nut is your top priority, you are definitely gonna go out here and get some little fast ass girl pregnant because that's your priority, as opposed to safety and making sure that your penis doesn't fall off. Because you are a little monster, but
Wow.
you penis. So I don't know. I think for me, I have to do that part. And even with my daughter, you can't get pregnant. We can't do that. I am 34 years old. I don't look like a grandmother. I don't plan on being a grandmother anytime soon. So I would rather not. But
All right, we gonna chalk this up. Last comment of the night. It got quiet. Nakosha, your sister says, if my kids inquire about it, I'm getting them prepared. So I feel that, and I honestly, I agree with both of y'all. I'm sure that's gonna be a conversation me and the missus are gonna have in regards to things. But yeah, we're gonna get off here. We got a lot of topics for next week, so all three of us gonna come back, right? Yep, next week.
yes,
So
right.
we gonna holler. Appreciate you tuning in, and
What you say?
out.
Okay. I say you coming back next week?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Coming back. Are we done? Are we still live? We're not live.
Yeah, we still on here. It ain't ended yet.
Okay.